Hello, good afternoon. It's Matat Lenzi, Club-Nirvana. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the operations and maintenance of your Club-Nirvana Rebuild RSO, Rick Simpson oil. First thing you need to know about Rick Simpson oil, it's very thick. So if your dispenser is a little cool, you're going to need to warm it up. Warm it in your hand for maybe a minute or two. Make sure your hand is warm. But then you can also use a cup of warm water, maybe 100 to 105 degrees. You don't want to boil it. You don't want to put it in a microwave. You don't want to put it in the oven. Just warm water or a warm hand. The plunger, right? The plunger goes this direction only. You can unscrew it, right? See, it's got little threads. You can screw it back on, but you don't want to pull it out. It's actually not meant to do that. And it'll turn out badly for you. It goes one direction. So the other thing you need to know is that when you're taking off the lid, there's some little grooves on this part. It's two parts, right? You have a part that screws off and you have a part that you hold on to. So you want to unscrew that, right? Then you screw it back on, screw off, etc. So that takes us to the maintenance part of it. If you don't maintain it and keep it clean, turns out it's going to get brown, sticky, right? This is like tar. It's somewhat like glue. But you'll need to, if you get it to that point and it is stuck and you try to take this off and it won't come off, right? This one actually still comes off. I didn't leave it overnight or anything. Warm water, again, 100 to 105 degrees. Stick it in for maybe a minute, 2 minutes. Take it off, hold on to this piece again. Don't use the plunger, nothing. Hold on to that piece, unscrew, screw it back on. Okay? When you dispense it, a little bit oozes out. The way to handle that, I have a little makeup cleaner thing that my wife and daughters use. But you can use this or a cotton swab or a Q-tip or even a napkin or a paper towel. And you use 70% isopropyl alcohol. You could also use vodka, other percentages of alcohol, but the main thing is you want to use something that's clean and can eat through that oil, right? So you dab it in there and you clean this part off. You clean this part off. The other thing that you can do, take this, fill up a little shot glass with the isopropyl alcohol, drop it in, and just let it sit there for 10 to 20 minutes, right? 1 or 2 minutes probably isn't going to work. 20 minutes, you could leave it in there for hours if you want. It's not going to break it down at all. But you do want to get that nice and clean. Now, the last tip, in here I have MCT oil. It's coconut oil. And you can also just dab this tip, dab that in there, take the little cotton swab, get it. You don't want it dripping around, but you want it to get a little bit of oil in there. And then once this is clean, you take this out, dry it out, rinse it out, let it air dry. And then you can put a little MCT oil on there too. You could use olive oil, vegetable oil. You probably don't want to use motor oil. Yeah, no, absolutely don't use motor oil. But yeah, because once you do that, then it really comes on and comes off really easily. It's really fantastic. So anyway, so that's about it. Hopefully you learned a lot, and we'll look forward to catching you next time.